Ready? Let's go ahead and get into it. The government just told us how to survive an alien invasion. At this point, I don't even think we're evading an alien invasion. I think we're just like, come on over and as soon as possible, please.
What's up, America? Have you seen this map that just came out a few minutes ago? This is an active map of just a few minutes ago. Count how many hurricanes there are right now, or tropical depressions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 10 tropical depressions or hurricanes active right now all over the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in the path of a hurricane, don't worry, there will be one headed your way soon. I don't think I've ever seen this type of weather coming out of this season. Now, I know this is during hurricane season and we're supposed to have some hurricanes, but correct me if I'm wrong, this is Armageddon type of weather. Just saying. Stay safe, America.
Armageddon is right. And for some reason, I have a feeling that it's not going to be over after the hurricane season. We're probably going to have a super crazy winter time. And at this point, nobody is safe. You guys know that North Carolina got that worst of the worst type weather, and they were in the mountains. Make sure you guys do everything that you can to be prepared. Make sure your family is good. And if you can, make sure your neighborhood is good.
Whole house. Man, oh my God.
Oh my God.
But I've been recording for 8 minutes.
I just edited it down.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you my phone. Do you want it now?
Yeah, I can do it real quick.
Yeah, they are standing so close to that water. At any given second, it could just wipe them out. And that damn current literally took the house, the car, and the dog.
Remember when Jimmy Kimmel hit Diddy with a late night question?
Hey, speaking of
This
love,
is love.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I Did you see it? Did you see it? He snapped. I think he even is twitching a little bit, of anger. Look,
Is that true?
you see it?
Oh my gosh.
Yo, this show has
He
gotten
comes
crazy.
back. He snaps back.
As Diddy's heart was snapping out his chest, he was trying to come up with the best answer as quick as possible. Y'all already know if somebody leans their head over and just blinks with one eye, they're tweaking and probably lying about something. I would love to be a fly on the wall at one of them white parties, but I also know some people that would still love to go to some of them white parties. It's not looking good for Offset when Cardi B is pulling up with the high priestess of Hollywood.
Right now, workers at ports along the east and Gulf Coast are on strike, and that could deal a big blow to our country's economy. 45,000 workers. That would close 36 ports from Texas to Maine. Analysts warn a walkout lasting more than a week could lead to major supply chain disruptions, and anything that's being imported could be delayed.
By the time we're watching this video, the strike is already in full effect. But the sad part about it is just like in 2020, people are grabbing up all the toilet paper instead of preparing in a real way. I can't believe this is really happening. It's ridiculous.
So it's not even September 29th yet, and people are seeing 2 moons in the sky already. So what is this about, y'all? I thought September 29th is when we were going to start seeing 2 moons. Why are we seeing 2 moons in the atmosphere already? Now, I be telling y'all, Florida got all the signs. Florida got all the actions. This is why the wood that was used to build the ark, gopher wood, is only found in Florida. So are the end times only happening in Florida? Because, man, Florida's going through it, y'all. But this is not the first time we're seeing a couple of moons in the sky. Throughout the years of me posting, I've been showing y'all that people are seeing multiple moons in the sky. So why is it now that the government or NASA come out talking about it? Because people are noticing what is going on and they have no explanation for what's happening. The only thing they did was basically tell us that we're having 2 moons in the sky, and that's practically it. They gave no explanation of how, why, who, all these type of things. Everything that we have been taught is a lie. Hell, majority of the things that we learn in school, we don't even use to this very day, y'all. They just taught us a whole bunch of useless lies. And now our lives and everything that we have known is literally being shifted. That's why we're on here asking each other, what is going on? Because the media is not telling us truth. They're not doing justice. But hang on to your seats, y'all. There's going to be a lot more that hits the fan, y'all. We have more truths that are coming to the surface. This is the age of Aquarius, where truth will reign. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I'm only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift. Peace in.
This has never happened in history of time ever before that we know of. And we are here to witness this. It is an amazing time to be alive, but also a little bit scary.
Now, the syndication of the 2 moons is the blueprint of the resurrection of consciousness that collapses the demiurge, because the concordance of the 2 moons is a representation of divine intervention. Now, the second moon is the timekeeper of the collapse of the patriarchal patrilineal system of democracy. So this is basically the end game of the simulation, the playoffs. Our physiology is made up of 70% water. So what you think is going to do to the nanotechnology all throughout your physiology when you have 2 moons in our atmosphere pulling on your genetical structure? Because like I said, the moon is basically the timekeeper. The second moon is the timekeeper of planet Earth. So when you have the gravitational frequency yanking at the planet at a violent level, it's going to cause calamity, it's going to cause destruction. And that destruction is going to amplify 6 times greater, because it's going to amplify the Schumann resonance spike on planet Earth to where you're going to get all these calamities. And these calamities, when you're going to have 6 times more hurricanes, tornadoes, everything intrinsically that's going to basically happen to the collapse of the demiurge of the simulation. This is a prophetic divination that's going to be taking place. So it's not a coincidence that you see cities like New York City. Everything will change in 2025, which is basically the personification of the fall of Babylon, because the gravitational frequency of 2 moons is going to be pulling on the energy that's going to activate.
Our world and our universe, physical and spiritual, are purging everything that no longer is meant to be here. And honestly, it's a little scary, but this is the only way for it to cleanse itself.
Pentagon is owned by the Tartarian family. No?
Oh my God! Somebody owns the Pentagon.
Well, if you look at the mansion of the Farneses in Rome, it is Pentagon shaped. They wanted that shape for the Pentagon. So,
which is a pentagram.
Yes.
Which is satanic.
It's the pentagon. The pentagram has spikes. The Pentagon has the spikes.
But you can fit a pentagram inside the pentagram.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that's from the Farneses. The Colonna family, they own stuff like California, New York, the stock exchange. When you look at the Vatican facade, you'll see the names of the families. Just pay attention. Every time you see the Pope photographed, look around in the room. Look around at the plain-clothed people. You will see Borghesi's, Borgia family. The Borgias are the conquistadors of all of South America. I would say the Borgias and the Farneses are more South America, where the Jesuits were really They killed Lincoln, and he identified them. He says, those evil Jesuits, they will get me one day.
Okay. Now, we need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right. Just different blend. You need the ladies, you need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No. No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're going to leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
Yeah.
broccoli, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you talking?
Depends on the way you look at it.
Depends. Oh, people start getting it gets kind of sexy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you sexy.
Always told
He knows what he's doing, and not in a good way.
me we'd be at the parties. He said, "You leave 30 minutes for the devil get there." Okay. And when he would say that, I will always remember that Denzel would leave the parties early. I follow Denzel out. I'm out. You see what I'm saying? Because when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, there's nothing wrong with going to the parties. Even Christ party with the sinners. You know what I mean? But when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, you able to have your integrity. I meant off screen. It's not what you do on screen. What you do off screen is more important.
So, what have we here?
That looks like a nightmare and a crime scene at the same time.
Good morning, everybody. I'm back over here on Mapleton Drive and Holmby Hills. Behind these shrubbery is the home of P. Diddy. Now, folks, I want you to look at this street, okay? These homes go for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 million and more. Do you think for one moment that there's a tunnel under here? There's no tunnels, folks. That's a fabricated story. You think they got a tunnel from here to Jack Nicholson's house to the Playboy Mansion down the street? No way. You have any idea how much dirt that they got pulled out? The trucks that would be in this area? Everybody in this area would know if that happened. Not one person ever heard of it who lives in this area. So, folks, let's get real about this here. There are no tunnels, and there's no tunnel going to Jack Nicholson's home.
Sir, we are past fabricated, and the dirt that you were talking about, they got it. They got it all small and tall. And respectfully, you need to take your butt in the house before they come and get you too. Because anybody defending Diddy right now also has something to hide.
Oh, I got your ass now. What the fuck are we looking at here? Look! What is that? That is the World Trade Center. What are we looking at? We are looking at the St. John's Cathedral, the Divine, in New York City. This was built in 1892. I want y'all to tell me, how did the Tartarians know about the World Trade Center? Look at that. Those are waves. Those are waves coming over the city. Look at that. What do you think that is? That's the Brooklyn Bridge. It's broken in half. Look at that. There's cars falling off the Brooklyn Bridge. This was built in 1892. 1892. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? I know your brains aren't wrapping yourselves around it, but are y'all with me here? Look at that. This piece right here, I don't know what that is, but that has something to do with it. If that right there is the Brooklyn Bridge, right there, you see cars falling off, right? Look right here again. Let's go back over here. That's the World Trade Center, and look beneath it. Look. Those are Tartarian buildings, Tartarian structures, right there. Underneath the city. There's a Tartarian city underneath New York, and now I know, because my people told me. Look, it's 1892. How do you even know we're gonna build that? The bridge! And look at the water. There's a wave of water crashing, knocking all.
Guys, no way that is real. Have you guys seen that before? Because I never have. Let me know what you think about that.
I'm about to tell you a really big secret that the government doesn't want you to know about the Jade Helm military exercise, the Yellowstone volcano, its potential to erupt, and why so much military is being deployed to a city near you. Rumor has it that the Jade Helm exercise was actually a cover for the military to get all of its equipment out of the ashfall area. There was two major regions of the Jade Helm exercise, this one and the rest of the country. This is where all the military equipment was moved to. You'd think that's counterintuitive because Yellowstone is right next door upstairs, but you're not taking into account easterly winds. You see, the safest place to be in America when the Yellowstone volcano erupts is right here. Because beyond the initial blast, being under the volcano as the easterly wind pushes the ash cloud across to the east coast is going to be the safest place for you to be. And the safest place for all the military vehicles to be so that the ash doesn't get inside the engine and gunk everything up so it's inoperable. This map here shows the initial ashfall of Yellowstone. It is in the same exact spot where the Jade Helm exercise was. But understand this is only the initial ashfall from the eruption. Once that ash gets carried into the wind, it's going to cover the East Coast and go around the world before it revisits California, Nevada, Utah, etc. So why is this important to know, and how does it connect to all this military deployment happening right now? You may be aware of all the increased seismic activity, solar activity, and weakening of the Earth's magnetic field right now. Well, that's only the tip of the iceberg, because the USGS, along with other military organizations and the government, knows something much bigger. That is, they have an approximation of when the Yellowstone volcano is going to erupt, and they relate it to the solar activity and Earth activity, and they know that it's coming soon. I imagine that Schumann resonance thing was not an anomaly. So why are they putting military in a bunch of major cities? Because Russia and China are going to invade us immediately when we're at our weakest. By the way, this is in biblical prophecy. The abomination of desolation, my friends. When the Yellowstone volcano erupts, it's going to weaken us severely. This is going to be the best time, the most opportune moment for Russia and China to invade. So American military is preparing for that moment. That's why you're seeing planes everywhere. That's why they're deploying to major cities. It's not martial law. This is survival. And this is the stuff they really don't want you to know.
A small hydrothermal explosion did occur at Biscuit Basin in the geyser area of Yellowstone this morning. And if you look closely at this diagram, this is a depiction of Yellowstone in general, which, believe it or not, is pretty much one big, giant volcano. Now, just because Biscuit Basin erupted with that small hydrothermic explosion does not mean that the magma from underneath is about to pop and the whole thing is going to burst. That's not the case. Now, this did happen in 2009, and it happens from time to time that you get explosions of geysers in Yellowstone. That's one of the reasons, and I can tell you this from firsthand experience, that they hold you back a distance away from the geysers for safety reasons. So again, I do not think that this is indicative of the overall explosion that's going to take place someday. However, I'm an expert in the weather. I'm not an expert in geology, so I'd like to hear your opinion of what's going on, if you know a geologist. Or even if you don't, boom! That was incredible today.
Now, you guys, that video was, I think, a couple months old, but still, it was so intriguing. I definitely had to put it up here.
Hey, Bishop Jakes. How are you? What's up, man? Man, it's so good to see you.
It's better to see you. How you doing? Looks like you're out in the sun.
Jakes have slept with multiple men at Diddy's parties and abroad, and they refer to him as being a power bomb.
Get ready to hold onto your seats because the world of celebrity scandals just got a whole lot juicier. In a jaw-dropping turn of events, Bishop T.D. Jakes, the revered leader of the Potter's House for over 3 decades.
Here are hidden messages in the movie Leave the World Behind. Spoiler alert. First is the changing artwork. As you can see behind the bed, the waters are calm and still. But as it progresses, it becomes more turbulent. As you can see here, this symbolizes that still waters will be no more in the future to come. Next is this photo, which appears to be like radio waves or signals. that changes to this and then eventually looks like this, reinforcing that our signals are going to be interrupted. Then we also have this artwork right here, which is eyes on a painting by a painter named Barthélemy Togo. The same artist also had an exhibition called Craving for Humanity, where his designs speak to the upheavals of the world, such as wars, famine, and abuse of powers. Next is this scene from above, which appears to look like a power button, signifying turn the power off. Next we have this pamphlet, which translates into Death to America, in what appears to be of Islamic origin. To add to that, let's not forget that the author, Ruman Alam, is Islamic, and Mahershala Ali is also Islamic. And this was done cleverly to show who the message and warning is coming from. Lastly, I'll touch on what was seen while traveling. We see Fort Morse Road and Point Comfort, exit 76. Fort Morse was a free black settlement during slavery. This movie had a lot of references to race, which I would have to do a whole nother video for. So get in the comments if you want me to touch on that. Point Comfort was the irony of them actually leaving the city to come to the island to get out of their comfort zone, and how what's to come is going to also get them out their comfort zone. Exit 76 has to deal with the year the United States was established. The White Line, which also touches on the racial aspects of this movie, was a ship that brought the first African slaves to the colony of Virginia. We see the Huxleys, which is a reference to Aldous Huxley, the author of A Brave New World. And we also have the registration, which is 1222. Some speculate it's predicting a date. Others say it's nothing at all. I'll let you decide. I'll finish this off by explaining the ending, which most people hated. The little girl you just saw was obsessed with Friends and wanted to watch the last episode called The Last One. Not to mention that Matthew Perry used to date Julia Roberts, and he coincidentally passed away on her birthday. So basically, his ending marks her new beginning with this movie. And that is what the ending was all about. The end of the world as we know it, and a new one trying to survive. Once seen, it can't be unseen. And in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Now, I know they had many hidden messages, but I didn't know it was this many. With all the AI videos, I don't know what to believe, but that would be pretty amazing. Yeah.
So does anybody want to tell me why there's a $3 ratchet strap holding together the OceanGate submersible now? This is the Titan. A bunch of people remember it imploded with people in it trying to go down and see the Titanic. Well, right there, you got a $3 ratchet strap holding this thing together on the bottom of the ocean at 3,700 meters with little plastic bits just kind of hanging out perfectly. What the no, that is not. I don't have enough tinfoil for this shit. I got to go to Costco because there is no way in hell there's no ratchet strap on this thing. How is there a Walmart ratchet strap holding this thing together now? Come on.
The moon is empty. You can see on the new moon, you can see a ring, and there's black, and you can see it's a hole. Clearly, it's a hole. You go through it.
What do you think the planets are? They're light? It's not like dirt. Mars isn't like dirt?
It's not.
So they're not landing Mars rovers on Mars, right?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. What they're doing is they're going to places like Greenland with very, very exotic landscape, and they're making it look like it, and then they're colouring it to look red and what have you. If you go to Wikipedia, which I'm in now, and you look up under Saturn, in the first sentence it will tell you that Saturn is a gas giant, and then you go to Jupiter and it tells you that Jupiter is a gas giant.
Yeah.
Then you ask what the sun is, they say it's hydrogen and helium. Well, that's gas. Why is Venus or Mars or the moon where they landed, why is it an exception? You can see with your own eyes that it's a lie. Ptolemy, for thousands of years before the Jesuit Copernicus turned up and made a spinning ball, was saying all of the 7 planets are entirely luminous. They are portals.
Oh, you're telling me there's no moon there?
There is.
It's not a solid object?
It's a more attenuated transcendental material. What you are seeing there is the dance of the gods, the moon, the sun. These are gods. They are gods. They are archangels. For Jews, they'll tell you, in Kabbalah, they'll tell you the moon is Raphael, Mercury is Gabriel, etc. The sun is Michael.
After 2 decades of research and studying the topics that I'm not allowed to speak in public, I decided to share my knowledge and reveal the hidden truth. Check the link in the profile bio.
Have you guys seen this video going around that's of Taylor Swift in a toy commercial? And the problem with this video is this toy commercial is from 1981, when Taylor Swift was born in 1989. But it does look a lot like Taylor Swift. Many people are claiming that this is just proof that celebrities are actually vampires or immortal. They also compared Taylor Swift to Zena LaVey, a well-known Satanist from the 80s. But she's not the only one. There are so many different photos coming out of people from the past, sometimes even hundreds, maybe even thousands of years ago, that look just like celebrities that are here today. And it's fueling the fire of people believing that these people are immortal and some type of vampire. With the internet being able to share all of these old photos, comparing them to the celebrities, it's definitely convincing. It kind of reminds me of the vampire Lestat, where he was just a vampire living in the shadows for a long time, and then once he was able to become famous, he became a superstar. And a lot of people think that that's what's happened here. What do you guys think about this theory?
I believe them, but once again, we have AI, which makes it a little bit hard to.
Case, and what I saw was something horrific. A young woman got a flight paid for her by the Tate brothers to Romania. She wanted to go. When she got there, she got bored. I know this because her actual text messages are in the file. She started texting with another man, and this man happened to have connections to the military or the state some way or another, and she's trying to get him to pay for a flight for her to go somewhere else on vacation. So her and her friend begin texting. They start laughing with one another, saying, like, what if we just make up that we're being sex trafficked? She says something along those lines to the guy that she's trying to get to fly her out of Romania, and he takes it seriously. He's going to alert the authorities that this woman he believes is being sex trafficked. So he does that. The authorities swoop in, they raid their compound while the girl is there, and as they are raiding, she is texting this guy, and she says to him, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, you're ruining my life. How could you have done this? You were just supposed to buy me a free ticket somewhere else. I can't believe you alerted the authorities to something that I was just saying because I kind of wanted to go on another free vacation.
The Red Cross rep was like, he goes over and he says, well, you got to stay behind this line because they're thinking about bringing the building down. They didn't say what building. They just said bringing a building down. So we're like, okay, you know, we'll take their word for it. You know, we'll stay behind the line. And he went over and he talked to one of the, through all the commotion, he goes over and he asked one of the Red Cross, or one of the firefighters, what was going on. I guess, I don't know if he got an answer or not. He came back over with his hand over the radio, and it sounded like a countdown. And at the last few seconds, he took his hand off, and you heard 3, 2, 1, and he was just saying, just run for your life, just run for your life. And then it was like another 2, 3 seconds, you heard explosions. Like, boom! It's like a distinct sound. It's not like when the compression, like boom, 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 like floors that were dropping and collapsing. This was boom, and like you felt a rumble in the ground, like almost like you wanted to grab onto something. That, to me, I knew that was an explosion. There was no doubt in my mind.
What up, y'all? So I'm from Bermuda, and I shouldn't be telling y'all this because I probably will get in trouble for this because it's our nation's secret, but I just feel like the people should know, like the people should know, you know? So I'm from Bermuda, I'm a Bermudian, but we're also triangulans. Like if you're a part of the Bermuda Triangle, you're a triangulan, also known as like Atlantean. Not every triangulan is an Atlantean, but we are also Atlanteans. Same way Italians are Europeans. But what I wanted to let y'all know is that like every Bermudian knows where Atlantis is. Like every Bermudian knows where the lost city is. And I just feel like people should know that. You know what I mean? Like by high school, every Bermudian knows. It's just like a rite of passage. So yeah, if anything happens to me, it's not the storm that's coming. because we're like in the Bermuda Triangle, Bermudians are protected. Nothing happens to us. So like I said, if something does happen to me and I go missing,
I'm sorry, you guys, but that was so funny because he sounds just like the guy off of Zoolander, just like him.
Starting a new series today, The Ocean is Space. Part 1, we're going to be speaking about dolphins, how in tune, wise, and powerful these beings are, live amongst us. A lot of you know this, a lot of you don't. Dolphins actually are smarter than most humans, with a much larger neocortex, which means their brains operate at a higher, more advanced capacity than humans. Very in tune with energy and frequency waves. You can read a person's energy and current emotional states just by looking into their eyes. Dolphins actually hold memories of many past generations, and they can speak telepathically with other dolphins. This may or may not be one of the reasons why it's illegal to contact wild dolphins, because the possibilities of what we may discover connecting with dolphins may surprise us. Dolphins actually have a great amount of self-awareness, unlike any other animal. They're very aware of their own thoughts and emotions. If dolphins have all these capabilities and are so powerful, imagine exploring the other 90% of the ocean that hasn't been discovered. I can comment.
Sometimes we won't know what God is willing to do for us until we're in a situation where only God can do it for us. God won't walk you to what he won't walk you through. He won't walk you to what he won't walk you through. Like I said earlier, God is the only one who can have a bad situation become a beautiful situation without ever changing the situation. The only thing, listen, the story has already been written. It speaks on before we were born and refers to after we're gone. So if the story has already been written, if the story has already been written and it goes from A to Z and we around Q somewhere, then what makes us think as his creations that we can change any aspect?
You guys, I had to plug that last video in there because a lot of people are seeing very strange things happen in the world, and some people are uneasy, and I just want to make sure you guys know that we are all in this together and God is watching over us, and at the end of the day, everything will be all right. Just know that you're not in this alone. We'll figure it out together. You guys, that was tonight's episode. I am so thankful for you guys. I love watching these videos with you. I also want to say thank you so much for showing so much love and support to our channel. It has really been showing, and the algorithm has been favoring us in many ways. I could see the channel growing in subscribers as well as views. Our last video got up to 8.8 thousand views, you guys, and not too long ago we just had 200 or 400 views per video. So I am so thankful for you. You're doing an amazing job. I would like to welcome you guys to subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell down below as well, so you are one of the very first ones to be notified every time a new video is released. But as always, you guys, everything is everything. Be good, do right, and I will catch you on the next one.